Young men
Okay,
today
it's
are
good.
more boned than a dinosaur exhibit. So boned that, as we're about to see, most will likely never be able to dig themselves out of the hole they're in on their own. And the
I don't know what boned means, so I don't
Bone
know.
means like it's like a bad way of saying it's like you're saying they're out of luck. They're completely out of luck. You know? They're in
Oh,
big
I see.
trouble. They're in big trouble. There's like nothing. There's no hope for them. Kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, so he says that he's trying to give them hope, but right off the bat, he's starting with that message.
Yeah, that is
Like
weird.
that's weird, right? And he plays this thing. Men are expected to pay like it's 1950, commit like it's 1850, and accept disrespect like it's 2025. I know this is kind of that kind of idea. This is red pill philosophy right here. Okay, Krafty.
Yeah, but does this actually happen in society? Do we actually expect men to do this? I've never seen it before, so I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, what they would say is like men are expected to. You still have to go and pay for the date. You still have to go and have a nice car, and if they ever get married, they have to take care of everything. They have to take care of all the finances and stuff. Or that's the idea. And but
Oh.
then, or that's how men feel. You know, even if a woman is out there making money herself, she expects someone who's making more money than her. That's what generally men are. The red pillars suggest. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, let's hear about
never be able to dig themselves out of the hole they're in on their own. And the only people who could help them won't. Today, as we finish up our timeline of the dating collapse, we're going to look at why it's so hard for
So
as we
then this
finish
is
up our
the only man that won't help them. They can't help them. Won't. This is like the old man, the boomers. This is the other part of this philosophy is blaming everything on the boomers, quote unquote. The older generation had it so easy, and now we have it so hard, and it's all their fault. You know what I mean? That's part of the philosophy here. What do you
That's
think, Beth?
weird. Because
That's weird.
back in those days, those people had it hard too. So,
Yeah, exactly. They had hard in a different way. We have it hard in another way, But everybody always has their heart. It's not like everyone's
yeah.
getting off easy here. Anyway,
our timeline of the dating collapse, we're going to look at why it's so hard for boomers and Xers to accept that young men can't necessarily fix their problems all on their own, and how their refusal to help has affected the trajectory of Western society. So let's rewind one more time and finish the story. The 2010s, the bubble times are officially over. Men in the West are not equal, especially economically. Wealth is more concentrated at the top than ever, and only the most successful men can provide things that used to be basic, like a house. This means women now feel like only the best of men can give her enough, while social media and apps now give her a fake feeling of access to the best of men. So we now have a very small pool of haves who get all of the attention from women, and a large portion of have-nots who get quite literally nothing. If you're a guy, this sucks. But when these
you heard this narrative before, Crafty?
Mm, I don't think so.
You ever heard of this? Okay, so this is the narrative that nowadays, because of the rise of like online dating and stuff like that, other pressures like that, it's come to the point where women only go for the best men, the top most elite men, and almost all the other men have like basically no chance. No, they get no attention from women. Women ignore them. All right?
Dude, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sounds so weird.
Well, that's the idea. The idea is that like well, for sure that's the kind of dynamic you see in those dating apps. Okay, that's true. Like statistically, almost all the women go for like these kind of super attractive and high value men. They call them like men that are making good money and stuff like this. And the average man is just out of luck on those dating apps. So that's the statistical kind of message that we're getting.
Oh, I see.
So part of the problem is that a lot of dating, a lot of meeting women nowadays takes place online, and because of that dynamic on the dating apps, that's what's happening. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
These guys try to talk about these problems with cultural, institutional, or church leaders, they're met with a brick wall because these older guys tend to believe none of this stuff is real. And if there are problems, they typically assume it's the guy's fault, and women are typically assumed to be innocent. Now, to understand where they're coming from, we need to look at a few of the ways this whole story conflicts with their core beliefs. First, the data itself is incompatible with their worldview. The older men and women in
Well,
I was reading Avo's comment. He said, "My dada and mama."
the baby boomers, yeah, the baby boomer generation. We're not
Wait, are you a boomer?
I'm not a boomer, yeah, unfortunately. I'm a Gen Xer, I believe. I'm kind of on the cusp though. What? What?
Gen X.
Yeah, I'm a Gen X, but I'm kind of on the cusp of Gen Y, you know?
charge, especially in the church, tend to have a more conservative, individualist mindset. They believe a man's outcomes in life stem entirely from his personal effort. So if young men can't get women, the only possible explanation is that they didn't try hard enough. Now, I do agree that taking ownership and doing the work will make your life way better than casting blame. However, the data also tells us there are hard limits on what each man is capable of achieving on his own. For example, IQ. IQ determines a man's capacity to solve problems and do complex tasks, and that alone has made it one of the most accurate predictors of a person's outcomes in life. It's also not changeable. It's like the engine in your car. It has a set horsepower, and that is it. That is the most it will ever have. You can't make your car any faster by exercising it or driving it harder. It's hardware limited. Same with your brain. Some men have a V8 up in their noggin, while others are struggling uphill with a 3-cylinder Toyota Tercel engine, and that severely limits what he can achieve on his own. Another hard limit is social capacity.
Wait, let's talk about this IQ thing. What do you think about that, Krafty? Does that sound legit? Does that sound like normal ways of thinking about human life?
That the IQ is based on it.
Well, just the idea that he's trying to say that people are just basically limited by their IQ, and there's no way they can rise above that type of limitation. You know, what do you think about that?
Like, because of their IQ, they're not able to do certain things, or
Um,
I don't know what he's trying to say. That's why.
well, he's trying to say he's basically saying that IQ, if you don't have a high enough IQ, that you just can't function past a certain point in life, and so you're just stuck. You just can't advance past a certain level, yeah. And only people with high IQs are gonna get to the top in our society, and other people that are like average or below average, they're just always gonna have like this substandard life, you know. Does that sound right to you?
No, that sounds really weird.
Mhm. Why?
Um, and because now it's like, I don't know, because not everyone's gonna have the same IQ, so it's just kind of weird that the people that have the highest ones are able to get the most or be like the most high in society, and everyone else doesn't get a chance at all.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
feel like everyone has an opportunity to do things, you know? And I feel like their IQ shouldn't limit them.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, he's trying to act as if it's destiny, like it's just like if a V8 versus a 3-cylinder or whatever he was talking about there, the cars, and it's just like it's not like that at all in real life. You know, there's some science that shows that IQ correlates. Correlation is not causation. Remember that, right? You know that, right?
I think so.
Okay, so a correlation is like if people have high IQs, they tend to have better jobs. They tend to make more money, right? But it's not a
Mhm.
perfect correlate. It's not a perfect thing. And the correlation, the mere fact that these things are correlated, doesn't mean that IQ causes you to have a good job. There's other factors, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, the other thing is about from the Bible, this is not the truth. In the Bible, we see God uses the weak and the foolish to shame the wise. You know, in First Corinthians chapter 1 and chapter 2, he talks about that. You know, what do you think about that?
Interesting.
And also, you know what too? That modern systems are rigged too. Like there's like this economic concentration of money at the top, and that's causing a lot of problems for men and women. And then the family structure, the way the family structures that we had in the past is collapsing, right? And
Yeah.
also other things like that. You know, those are other things that are factored in here that he's not considering that. He's just saying this IQ thing. It's like it's almost like Darwinism. You know, like all the higher IQ people, they're better and they're just gonna win. You know, it's like
Oh yeah. Is it like that survival of the fittest thingy that they kept
yeah.
teaching?
Yeah, exactly. If this guy's supposed to be Christian or something, or he says he's Christian, right? But he's talking like that kind of weird stuff, that kind of like a Darwinian survival of the fittest mentality. That I don't think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's let it go.
Capacity. Finally putting my psych degree to use. When you're a kid, your brain's development isn't just additive, it's subtractive on a physical level. You start off with bazillions of neural pathways in your brain, and the ones that don't get used as you develop are pruned and shut down permanently. Most of this happens before you turn 3.
Sorry. I miss like I don't understand what he's talking about. Anyway,
Me neither, dude.
This IQ thing. Look, I wanted to say this too that God gives wisdom when you ask Him. Okay, so there's wisdom is better than IQ. You know, the wisdom of God, right?
Yes.
And we need to look to God for our success, not to like these worldly things, these worldly ways of measuring success. Okay,
Good point. Seek the kingdom of God first, I think.
Amen.
Okay.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. That's what we need to do as Christians. He's not talking about that. He's talking about, oh, if you don't have a high IQ, you're cooked. Like
See,
it's
it's
just not.
already worldly.
Yeah, it's not a Christian way of explaining these problems, man. That's why I didn't like this video. You know. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Krafty. Wait, by the way, Krafty, if you see anything you want me to pause, just let me know, okay?
Okay, Mr.
Uphill
Mike
with a
Sam
3
Pat.
Okay.
cylinder my psych degree to use. When you're a kid, your brain severely limits what he can achieve on his own. Another hard limit is social capacity. Finally putting my psych degree to use. When you're a kid, your brain's development isn't just additive, it's subtractive on a physical level.
Yeah.
Do you see all the plants in the background?
Yeah.
Do you know how suspicious that is?
Very suspicious, but I got some plants too, man. I don't know. But to me, the big suspicion is his logo. His logo is straight, just Schiller.
The orange color, the orange.
Orange, and it's all this like geometric design thing, and the geometry and the symmetry stuff. That's like weird. That's like the stuff they'd like to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see.
You start off with bazillions of neural pathways in your brain, and the ones that don't get used as you develop are pruned and shut down permanently. Most of this happens before you turn 3. And at 10 to 12 years old, you're basically done for life. There's no going back. So if you didn't get enough social development during those formative years, because you were an iPad kid or your parents hardcore homeschooled you or whatever, no amount of effort later in life will ever catch you up to the people who did. Things like this.
You see what I'm saying? He's trying to say like if you just didn't have this like if your parents let you play video games all day when you were a little kid because they had to work or whatever, then that means you're done. You're not no amount of socialization will ever bring you back up to speed. You know what I mean? Like it's so fatalistic, and you know what I'm saying with fatalism? Like they're saying like your fate is sealed. You can't come out of it. You know, you're doomed. Like
That's the
Chloe said.
problem. They don't even this isn't even encouragement. They're just like making you feel worse about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's just ridiculous. This guy's supposed to have a message that's supposed to. He says he's supposed to hear trying to encourage Christian men, but he's actually giving this message that if you didn't have this, if you didn't have that, you're done. You can't even you'll never catch up. You know,
This is
wicked.
so bad. This is
Yeah, that's why I wanted to show. That's why I wanted to show you this video. I wanted to show the audience like this video is and this type of narrative is all over the place now. It's all over the interwebs, and young men are taking this in everywhere they look on the interwebs, and it's causing them to get really depressed and really like they have no hope. Young people feel like they have no hope and stuff. But the thing is, in Christ we have hope. Our hope is in Christ. It's not about these things, right? And God will take care of you, so you don't have to worry about these things. What do you think?
I 100% agree. See,
Yeah,
God knows what we're going through. He's gonna take care of all of us.
that's right. That's right. Thanks, Krafty. Wonderful comment. Let's go.
Set a brick wall limit on how high men can reach through their individual effort, which means that
Right,
even though
Mike.
all men
Mike, you're right.
What?
It's just $49. This is how you get saved.
Yeah.
This is the way and the truth, Mike.
This is true salvation. True salvation is through what's the Andrew Tate one? There was like everybody has one now, right? There's like coaching program or whatever. It's so dumb.
can grow can people who did. Things like this set a brick wall limit on how high men can reach through their individual effort, which means that even though all men can grow, learn, and improve, and their lives will be way better if they do, it's also possible for women to set their standards so high that most men will not be able to reach them within their lifetime. Also, keep in mind, the world is way more complicated now than it's ever been before. Today, you have to navigate bloated bureaucracies, office politics, HR rules, complex technologies, internet AI, and on, and that takes a way higher IQ than digging potatoes out of the ground or picking berries to survive. Heck, it's more than even just back in the 60s before we got rid of all the simple manufacturing jobs that a man used to be able to buy a house with. And don't forget how we've been watching men get completely nerfed by society and the way we raise them either. Put that together and we're now seeing average men begin to fall below the minimum threshold of capability needed to have normal things like a wife.
Some people like just put yourself out there. Just work on yourself and things will work out. There's this whole crop of people who I think are trying really hard. I don't think they're losers. I don't think they're like pathetic or anything like that. I think there's something about the architecture of how these people are built so that standard advice does not apply to them.
And the trouble is, that scenario simply isn't possible to the men in charge because they grew up in a time of abundance when all you needed was to reach out and grab your slice of that abundance. And sure, it took hard work, but they could trust they'd be rewarded for it. So the concept that a man could max himself out and still fall far short just doesn't compute to them because there's no place to fit the data into their mental.
Wait. Let's talk about this. All right, right now he's saying that basically average men are like now below the thresholds or whatever he's saying, right? For marriage. And they can never catch up. He's basically saying that most guys today can't even qualify for a wife. Does that sound right to you?
Qualify? That depends. What are the qualifications a person has to have?
Yeah, according to this guy, it's like I don't know. I guess it's like let's look at his little graph he had. His little graph, so utterly dumb. Let's look at this thing. I hate this guy too, by the way. This Indian guy is the worst on the face of the earth. But this thing, this is his graph. Basically, if you're not above the red mark, you can't get married. That's what this guy's trying to say.
What?
That's what this guy's saying. He's basically saying you just won't make it. You just won't make it in our society. You're done.
Is he
Like,
trying to
shit.
act like all women have like the same standard and stuff like that? Because
Yeah, that's the thing too. But yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about that. You know about that.
it seems we all have our different preferences and stuff like that. I don't believe every single woman out there in the world is wanting a guy that's like super rich and has super high IQ, you know?
Right, right, right. Not every woman is like that, right? So it's
Yeah.
just like it's like assuming that all women are shallow, and all men are just they can't rise above their own like whatever he thinks like IQ or other like those kind of like genetic things that you can't change, you know? Wicked. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like a wife.
Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just saying. Yeah.
Some people like just put yourself out there, just work on something about the architecture of how these people are built.
something about the architecture, how these people. This guy's another doomer. Like they act like they're trying to help you, but they tell you things that'll make you feel worse, make you feel like you can't succeed, and that's because that's their method to make you think like, oh, you need me, you need my help, you need to join my program, and then I can help you succeed. But without me, you're just one of these people that you're something about your architecture, something about the way you're built that you just can't make it. You know what I'm trying to say?
See, that's why they have those programs. They want to get money out of you, and one way to do is to make you feel like you need to depend on them.
Exactly. This is just like it's just a grift, you know?
So that
Yeah.
standard advice does not apply to
Oh,
them.
well, I know
The trouble
why.
is
I know
that-
why. What if this guy is trying to get super rich too, so that he wouldn't be at the bottom?
Yeah, that's all it is. Exactly. They know they're looking at the world. They think I don't know if he even believes what he's saying. That he thinks like this is his way to get out of that trap. You know?
By putting down other people.
Yeah. Just because they're like vultures. You know? They just are there. I don't know what you call it. The parasites. You know? They just suck people's blood, and that's how they live. You know?
That scenario simply isn't possible to the men in charge because they grew up in a time of abundance when all you needed was to reach out and grab your slice of that abundance. And sure, it took hard work, but
Jim Momentum's saying this, right? I see many men, below average dudes who get married all the time. The dudes who talk like this are insecure themselves because they can't get a women. They're projecting their insecurity on other people. You're right. I think there's a lot of people that do that. You're right, Jay. There's a lot of people that they're insecure. They get caught in this mentality trap that these people set, and then they push it into other people. So it's a virus that spreads. It's like a mental virus that spreads and catches more people. But this guy, this person who's making this video, I don't think he's just like insecure. I think he's purposely doing this. That's my opinion. He's doing it on purpose. Exactly, bro. Now he's talking about the boomers. It's all the boomers' fault, guys. The boomers ruined our lives.
trust
Guys,
they'd
you
be
have to
rewarded for
pay.
it. So the
I'm starting a program for these people. If you need my help, I'm doing it. Each second you have to pay me 50 billion.
yeah. Start a program, Krafty, set it up. We'll get these guys.
concept that a man could max himself out and still fall far short just doesn't compute to them because there's no place to fit the data into their mental model of the world.
What do you mean?
You process this however you need to process it. If you want to keep talking it out.
Which one are you dating?
Both.
Are you dating Cece?
I'm dating Cece.
Are you dating Elizabeth?
Yes.
How do you do that?
They made me choose.
You have to choose. You can't have both women.
What was I supposed to do?
What, you think you can have a bunch of wives? You got one wife! This is the way the world works!
Why?
I don't know.
To really see what's happening, their worldview would have to change at a fundamental level. And in most cases, that's a bit too much to ask for, especially because of our second roadblock. This is where things start to get a little more emotional. These institution leaders, especially pastors and church elders, are at least partly responsible for teaching the women, influencing their growth, and holding them accountable. If what young men are saying about women's standards and behavior is true, it implies they failed to do that badly. Their conscience intuitively knows that if this stuff is true, then they contributed to the single men's struggles, and that makes them feel guilty, a feeling they'll do anything to get away from. Because guilt just doesn't make you feel kind of down on yourself. Guilt says, hey, you harmed someone else, so you're obligated to fix what you did to them. And that's what makes this really tough. The men in charge, like everyone else, hate feeling obligated to do something for someone else, partly because of their worldview.
This is another part of it where they try to blame the leaders or stuff. Like they try to blame, like he's basically saying that the leaders of the churches and the other institutions that are supposed to be, I don't know, helping men, guiding men or whatever into these situations are failing them. But it's another thing to kind of not take responsibility, to guide people to just act like, oh, we can't do anything. It's just the leaders failed us, so what are we going to do, you know? What do you think?
They're expecting the leaders to give them dating advice?
Yeah, or something. Like they think like, oh, okay, I guess what he's saying is like, okay, if it's true what he was saying about women before, that women only want these high value men and other men are just being ignored, right? If that's the case, then it's the fault of the pastors and the church leaders who have not made this type of situation untenable in the church. So therefore, they're hiding from their responsibilities, and it's another thing like oh, you can't do anything. You can't. It's their fault. They don't care about you, so you're done. You're cooked. You know.
So he's putting the blame on people based on an assumption that all women act a certain way.
Yeah. It's all just assumptions and weird foolishness, you know. False science. It's a misuse of. There's some data that backs up some of what he's saying, but he's taking that to an extreme, which it's not really responsible or anything, you know.
Yeah, this is kind of weird because now people are gonna watch this and think that all women are like these. Oh, we're so bitter. Oh, we just want the rich guys. Oh, all we care about is the president and how elite you are. Oh, if you're 6'4", if you're like 10'9" or something.
Yeah. Minimum 6'4". These women want to date only men over 6'4". If you're not over 6'4", you just kill yourself. It's utterly dumb. Utterly dumb. This whole thing is dumb.
But also partly because they're just slammed. Their lives aren't easy either. They've got a family to provide for, kids to raise, and they're exhausted, so they feel maxed out already. It's way easier to tell themselves, oh, this is just another whiny liberal trying to guilt them into giving time and energy that they don't have to fix someone else's problems that aren't their responsibility. Now, at this point, you might be wondering why all this individual responsibility only ever seems to fall on the men. For example, if a man is lonely, it's entirely his own fault and his responsibility to fix alone.
Right,
but if a woman is lonely, that is also men's fault and men's responsibility.
Sorry?
The standard now is that the height increased to 10 feet tall.
Yeah. Now no men are tall enough, basically. The entire human race. You're not good enough, man. You're just not good enough. Just give up.
Alone. But if a woman is lonely, that is also men's fault and men's responsibility to fix for her. And this brings us to our third roadblock, the pursuit narrative. This one's a little weirder, so follow me for a second. We know women generally aren't attracted to most men. That also means most men have never experienced a woman behaving truly sexual towards him and showing him strong desire, even once they're married, which leads most men to believe that women simply aren't sexual. Now we know
wait, sorry. I want to
which leads most men to believe
a lot of church men have never had church women act sexual toward them. So they think women are pure creatures. As a big-time church goer, this hit home. I don't know. And that's one of the comments on one of his other videos, I guess. Utterly dumb.
What? I don't get what he's trying to say.
So this guy basically he's posting a quote. There's probably a quote from one of this video maker's other videos. And then he quoted the guy, and then he underneath this commenter put, as a big time churchgoer, this hit home.
Yeah, I don't know what the quote means though.
Yeah, whatever. It's dumb.
To believe that women simply aren't sexual. Now we know from the increase of women consuming porn and increasing rates of female infidelity that women are incredibly sexual creatures. They're just also very selective about who they're sexual with. Now, I understand this is a touchy, uncomfortable subject for a lot of guys, especially married guys who've had that experience where their wives simply just don't want them. She's always making excuses. I'm tired. I've got a headache. She just never shows attraction or desire to him. It's a lot easier on his ego to believe that
when you promise your husband tomorrow night and it is tomorrow night. Oh, she's making faces. You could just tell him you're not attracted to him. Praying for all my ups to get a girl like you. Wow. Anyway.
well, that's just because women don't have libido. Women don't want sex. Men are the ones with sex drive. That's way easier than believing that his wife would want sex, just not with him. The problem is this also affects their perception of the dating collapse. Because they believe women are these sort of pure, non-sexual creatures, and that desire for men is something that guys have to go coax out of the women because that's been their experience. They also believe that men have this sort of natural duty to pursue women. They must be the ones who chase, even though that's not the example we see in the Bible, unless the husband is chasing a whore. But that's another topic. So they often...
Wait, what? Is that not
that's not the example we see in the Bible.
Ruth is initiated with Boaz. That's true. Song of Solomon, the beloved, the woman seeks out the man. That's true. Abigail sought out David. Did Abigail seek out David? Not really. That's not true. First of all, she went to see David to make the deal so that he wouldn't kill their whole family, right? And then later, David went to ask her to be married. So that's an example where he's just wrong. And also David went and fought for to get Michal, his first wife. All right. So there is a lot of that, man. And look at Jacob and Rachel. Oh, he brought this. Jacob did work for Laban for 14 years to pay the bride price for Rachel and Leah. But that was not a relational pursuit. After that point, we only see Rachel and Leah pursuing Jacob, even competing for his attention.
No, I thought Jacob did work for 7 years to get Rachel.
Yeah, that's the thing. This guy, he's ignoring the whole. Jacob had to travel all the way to this other foreign land, right? And he worked there for 14 years to get his wives, all right? And this guy's trying to say,
because he wanted Rachel, I think, but then the guy made him work another 7 years to get her. So
right, exactly. So we see a lot of that. We see a lot of that in the Bible where there is some stories. He's right. There's some stories like Song of Solomon. Yeah, she's kind of pursuing him. But who knows how Solomon got her to marry her in the first place, right? Like, that was probably he pursued her. And then Ruth initiated with Boaz. That's true, but that's because Boaz was an older man. Boaz was shy to ask her to marry because he's much older, you know?
Hey, guys, there's new people coming into the stream. But I just want to let you guys know, we're talking about the red and black pill. If you're not 10 feet tall, you guys do not make the cut.
10 feet minimum, guys.
Bible, unless the husband is chasing a whore, but that's another topic. So they often assume that because it's the man's job to pursue women, if relationships aren't happening, it's the men's fault because the men aren't stepping up and doing their job. Now, that doesn't line up with self-report or choice-based data. Women do not find it attractive when men chase them. In fact, they more often see pursuing as desperation-based data. Women do not
understand how men chase women. The energy you get from women who actually like you is something you'll never get from those who need convincing. Go where you are wanted, bro. Mastering manhood. This is like, is this the evidence for his claim? His claim is that men shouldn't chase women, but his evidence is some comment from this red pill idiot. What do you think about that, Krafty?
This comment is just so weird. Like, why would you want to post this on like Twitter?
I know. This is the red pill. This type of people, mastering manhood, this is the red pill thing, all right?
do not find it attractive when men chase them. In fact, they more often see pursuing as desperation or neediness, which can turn even an attractive man into a disgusting ick in her eyes in just a few minutes. So it's not real. But the pursuit narrative does match up with the complaints the men in charge are hearing from the single women. And this brings us to our fourth and final barrier for now. The older guys misunderstand how women see men. So you've probably heard women complaining that the guys won't ask me out. Now, what these ladies fail to mention is that when they say the guys, they aren't talking about all men, just the small handful they find attractive. The reality is there's a lot of guys who would ask her out if she'd let them anywhere near her, and there are probably a lot of guys who have. Now, what's interesting is she's not lying, or at least she doesn't think she is. When women see unattractive men, their brain literally does not register that they've seen a human. They're just not a part of her world, any more than a doorknob or a piece of furniture.
There's a study, they watched women's brains on a brain scan, and they said that with really unattractive men, really low value men, that they saw them as not even there. that they didn't register people in their brains at all. If men really low value men, that they saw them as not even there, that they didn't register people in their brains at all.
Does that sound realistic to you, Krafty?
No, I like even if there's people out there that I don't find attractive, I still acknowledge them. I still see them as a person.
Yeah. You see what
It's
this
not
is?
like
You
I
know what
don't
this
see
is?
them.
Sorry. Yeah,
It's not,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, you know what this is? This is more of this kind of rhetoric that he's bringing out, the defeatism, and also the idea of like, first of all, it dehumanizes the person who might have maybe some of the guys listening, they're insecure, right? This dehumanizes that person. And then at the same time, it makes them see women as these like inhuman like creatures that don't care about him and don't see him as a human being. You know what I mean?
Or that they're just like scanning for better people or something. No, not better, but like people they are attracted to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely wicked.
This is what we call the not people zone. A dozen of these guys could flirt with her, show interest, even ask her out, and she'd still say none of the guys will talk to her. And she's telling the truth, because sure, yeah, creatures asked her out, but the actual people men didn't. And it gets even worse.
Creatures asked, like, you see what he's saying? Like, he's trying to say women think of men as creatures. Unless you're like this some really beautiful man who's like super tall or whatever, women just see you as a creature. And so it makes it causes this division between men and women to be even bigger, you know?
Well, the truth is, we were actually fearfully and wonderfully made.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much.
That's right.
See?
That's right. Yes, exactly. That's right. So yeah, we're fearfully, wonderfully made. You don't need women to give you your identity. You know, you have your identity in Christ. Christ loves you. God loves you. And that's all you need. And God will give you a woman if that's what you need, you know?
That small group of successful men that women can see are often spoiled with so much attention from so many.
There's a lot of the bricks. Do you see the bricks?
Oh yeah. This thing is very shilly. This whole video is shilled to the max. Shill maximum.
The fact that you're showing it on this
Women.
live stream says a lot about you.
Hey man, I'm trying to take it down, dude. Come on.
But they ignore most of them and treat the rest pretty badly. So when women complain about dating, that is what they're talking about. The poor treatment and lack of attention they get from a handful of men at the top. Of course, they don't say it that way. They just say it's the men. So when older people hear that, they instantly believe it's all men. And they go into defend the damsel mode against all men.
It's the men that have to step up.
Not realizing that most of those guys did try, but the girls didn't see them as people. And the leaders don't see just how frustrated and heartbroken those guys in the not
all women do this or something?
Yeah, he's kind of he's like, at first when he said it, he didn't say that, but now he's basically saying all women see are attractive men. If they see a man who's not attractive, he's not even a human to them. They don't even see him. He doesn't register in their brain as a human being. You know what I mean? It's utterly dumb, utterly retarded.
Weird, because he's saying that all women see all men a certain way, but then he's saying the same thing about women too. So
yeah, I mean, he's basically it's just generalizing about all men and all women, and both of them in a very negative way. He's trying to act like he's some Christian, teaching us about the Christian way to see this stuff, you know? Absolutely
no, the only
wicked.
reason why it's Christian is because he brought up a story from the Bible.
I know. Even those he misused those stories too, you know? Absolutely wicked. This guy's wicked, dude.
People zone are
26 years old and never had a girlfriend.
27 years old, never kissed a girl on the lips before, which of course means I've never had a girlfriend before, never dated anyone before, and it fucking kills me. I'm not gonna lie.
And again, it's even worse for Christians because we tend to think we're immune to these things. Because, yeah, sure, secular women might have impossibly high standards or treat most men like they don't exist, but a real Christian woman would never, even though anyone in the trenches can tell you that's not how it works. Oftentimes, the more spiritual a Christian woman is, the higher her standards are for men in every category, earthly and spiritual. She feels like her godliness makes her deserve an even higher class of man than those dirty worldly women. Meaning Christian women often have higher standards, not lower. At least until she reaches the age where her looks start to fade and she stops getting attention from the guy she's aiming at.
Wait, is he trying to say that like women who have like godliness will feel like they deserve more?
Yeah, well, basically that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that, I mean, but remember, right? They're talking about women, Christian women in these churches that practically none of those churches teach free grace. Practically none of them go back to the Bible, the true Bible, right? That's the real problem with those churches. They don't teach free grace. They don't teach the true gospel of the Bible. They don't teach the true Bible. They teach their weird.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with those churches. It's not the problem. Problem is not that women there are like I don't know, like red pilled or whatever. It's so utterly dumb.
Also with the churches is that they're nowadays they teach like kind of like the prosperity gospel, but they have some of things where it's mostly about like motivation, making your life better, or you deserve more because of this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it makes people think they deserve more.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. So then the women think, or I guess according to his argument, right? The idea is that women in these churches, they feel like they not only do they deserve all the stuff that the secular women deserve, but they also deserve a man who's godly, who reads the Bible, and so he's got to be 6'4". He has to make 100,000 a year, and he has to read the Bible and pray daily and all this stuff, which is it's kind of like works based. It's kind of well,
it's mixing like worldliness into it too, so it's not entirely godly.
Yeah. Oh, it's not godly at all. Yeah. This is just like a perversion of the biblical understanding of marriage and men and women and stuff, Anyway.
Yeah, so reality sets in that she has to settle. At that point, though, a lot of the guys have already checked out because they got tired of the heartache, but we'll talk more about that later. Now, I should mention, a lot of older married guys have told me, so what? These guys should just be more assertive and push through all of those barriers that women are putting up. And for sure, yeah, being assertive works for guys who are close to the people zone, because that display of confidence can push you over the edge. But for the guys who aren't there yet, and they're still deep in the not people zone, if he tries to make himself known to her and assert his way into the people zone, her natural reaction will most often be fear. Her gut reaction is something like, ew, this creepy microbe is forcing me to acknowledge him as a person? This is gross. And
do you see what I'm saying? He's trying to say, like, so this is going to create more distance between men and women. Because if all the young men who feel a little bit insecure, like they're not top grade men or whatever that women want, they're going to feel like, oh, I can't even talk to this woman. She's going to think I'm a creature. She's not going to even think I'm a human being. And so I shouldn't even bother talking to women. You know what I'm trying to say?
As a woman, I don't see people as a creature and stuff like this. This is such a weird generalization. This is I'm kind of getting mad at this video.
Yeah. No, that's what I got mad at this video. That's why I wanted to show it to you guys. This is absolutely wicked. I mean, he's trying to say that all women see all men that aren't like these super attractive men. If you're not super attractive, you're basically not even a human being. You're just like an animal to them, or a creature or something gross and scary, and they don't even want to talk to you or be around you or anything. It's utterly ridiculous,
Is this
absolutely
what the Bible
ridiculous.
teaches? We have to ask this YouTuber, is this what the Bible teaches? If he claims to be a Christian and he's teaching this type of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely wicked. True discipleship, if especially among the Christian women, right? If they're true disciples, that'll make them more humble. That'll make them more understanding of different people and more willing to talk to more people, because they want to talk to people. As a disciple of Christ, they want to love all people and help people to come to Christ. So they want to talk to more people. They don't want to just push people away. That's foolishness. Utterly ridiculous. Yeah, they're villainizing women. Exactly, Kenneth. Thank you. God created women to be with men. To say women don't see men as human is a lie. Exactly. It's just a way of pushing men and women apart more than is already taking place, to make the situation worse.
You guys, my villain arc is here. I've been exposed.
Girls can be just as bad as dudes. Don't be deceived, fam. Oh yeah, girls can be as bad as dudes, and guys can be bad too. But we're just like, he's trying to say even Christian women. Like there's no hope. There's all women just see all men as just basically creatures unless they're super good looking or whatever. It's utterly dumb.
I'm scared now because I don't want this and he's not taking the hint. Somebody please get me out of here. That will often get him labeled a creep. since girls talk, that can ruin his chances with the rest of the women as well. That's also assuming she didn't file any legal charges against him, which I have seen happen, but we'll come back to that in a minute. At this point, feminism has won so big for so long that even conservative Christians don't realize how many feminist premises they accept. And nearly everyone treats women like they are gods. Remember, that was the original goal of feminism. And at this point, it has worked. Functionally, women are worshipped by men and each other. Men are expected to make sacrifices to women, like their time, effort, money, preferences, even their...
What do you think about this? Do you think women are worshipped now?
I think I've seen it before where like there's these like female models online and people idolize them and stuff like that. I see some people make really weird comments about them, but it's just a lot of like idolatry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's men that get that kind of treatment too. That's the whole point of what he's saying. Like, he's trying to say the top 5% of men get like hundreds of women are hitting them up on whatever those dating apps, right? And then the other men are being ignored, right? Well, okay. So that's also the same idolatry on both sides, men and women. That's the first thing. And also, you know what? This type of idolatry of women is kind of predicted in the Bible, because you see the woman riding the beast in Revelation 17. Yeah, it's like it's the idolatry of the feminine. Like the sexual and the feminine is being what is it called? Idolized. Yeah, thanks, Krafty. So that's true. There's somewhat truth to that in a certain extent, but it's like he's trying to say that this is some universal problem throughout our society when it's not. It's like it's more like a thing like, okay, this occurs in our society, it's a problem, but it's not like the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we've overcome the world. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Krafty.
No, I was just gonna say that it feels like that he's taking some of these minor things and making it as if it's like a big thing that everyone experiences.
Yeah. He's just totally blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
We've overcome the world through Christ.
Yes.
Right? So we don't need to worry about these things. We need to worry about like you were saying before, Krafty. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you, right? So don't worry about these things. Worry about God, what God wants, and everything else will take care of itself, you know?
Yes.
Their hobbies, and men are expected to perform all of their duties to women, while it's considered immoral and selfish for a man to ask that a woman perform any duties for him. People act like it's morally wrong to criticize women or say anything.
Pardon?
Did you see the verses that he brought up?
No, that was weird. I noticed that. What's he talking about?
I don't know, but I just saw a bunch of verses.
Oh, he's trying to say like, okay, so in the Bible, the woman is a help meet for the man, right? Help suitable for the man.
Yeah.
In Genesis 2, right? But here he's saying it's considered offensive to even ask women to be a helper for a man now. It's considered offensive because of feminism. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh.
And then the idea in the Bible, in the Bible, the woman was a companion for the man. But women often expect also more emotional support to flow to her, not from her. Leaving her husband. I don't know. He's trying to say, okay, so like, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe women often do that now. Like, does that mean that all hope is lost? Like, what is this guy talking about, dude?
It's not like all women either.
Mm-hmm.
There are some women out there that can actually be decent and not all this weird stuff that this guy's saying.
Absolutely. He's totally generalizing about all women. It's absolutely wicked. This guy's generalizing about women and men, and both of them are just out of luck. No one can win in this guy's world, you know? In the world that he's trying to push onto his young viewers, you know?
Perform any duties for him. People act like it's morally wrong to criticize women or say anything negative about them. Women's feelings are treated like a sort of divine revelation. And even when they don't match reality, saying so is treated like heresy. And nearly all men tiptoe around those feelings in fear, because in our culture, upsetting a woman is one of the worst sins a man can commit. If you do upset a woman, you will pay for it, socially and emotionally. Because of all this, women now command nearly absolute power over their homes, churches, schools, and more, often regardless of how conservative or complementarian they claim to be.
Is that true? Women have absolute power. Like what is this guy
What?
talking about, dude? I don't know what this guy's saying.
What?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Women are kind of like compared to before, like there's this kind of swing of feminism to the point where feminists are almost more powerful than like they're very powerful now, right? That's true, but it's not like they have complete control over every sphere of our society. It's ridiculous.
Mike, that's where you're wrong. I am stronger than you. I will defeat you in the next debate.
True. That's true. I'm just saying that's me and you though. That's anecdotal evidence. We're talking about the whole society, right?
I am the whole society.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. That's true too. All right, let's go.
Because don't forget, men are raised mostly by women and trained to seek the approval of women. When women take that approval away, they get their way. Now you have to admit, this kind of fear, reverence, and total obedience is strikingly similar to the way most cultures would treat a god. Now, it makes sense that a culture who got rid of God would create a new one. I mean, we'll always find something to worship. And it's easy to see.
We worship women like gods now? Is that true? Like, yeah, okay, this woman here on stage, she's being worshipped. But in another stage, there's a man on there who's getting the same treatment,
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why is he trying to say women are suddenly worshipped now and all this stuff. It's weird, Anyway.
Yeah.
But I guess he appeals to these people. There's some people that they're falling for this red pill stuff, and so this type of rhetoric appeals to them, right? And then there's a Christian population or Christian quote unquote who also fall for this stuff too, What do you think?
Maybe he's going around generalizing women in this way so he can appeal to his audience who are mostly men in this case or something. But then he's also subtly just bashing them too.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's bashing. He's got the audience of men. So he's bashing women to appeal to the men, but he's also subtly bashing the men so that they feel there's no hope either. It's ridiculous. This is a devil's trick. That's why I don't think this guy's just some random who just decided to make this. I think he's part of the system, part of the devil's lies. This is a very devilish, very diabolical way of presenting this thing.
See women as goddesses because their beauty and their sweetness can make them seem divine and transcendent. Now, what's really interesting is that it's not just the secular world that's doing this. Christians are displaying many of those same worship behaviors with women. We'll talk about that more over on Patreon.
Look, purple. Okay, lamp. There's a lamp here.
The guitar.
Okay? Now, what's really interesting
the guitar. Remember we talked about the guitar, right? Yeah. The guitar, the lamp, the purple. Oh, this guy's cooked for sure, dude. For sure. This guy is on the team.
This guy is done.
Secular.
Yeah.
That's doing this. Christians are displaying many of those same worship behaviors with women. We'll talk about that more over on Patreon, so check that out if you want. But we didn't just create new gods, we needed a new devil as well. If women are this culture's gods, then men are now functionally the devil. This is why we have no problem berating men for every little mistake they make, while it feels morally wrong to criticize women at all. You don't criticize God because that's wrong, but you do beat the snot out of the devil if you can because he deserves it, right? So that's exactly what we do. People now celebrate when bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Is he trying to say that women are being worshipped as gods now while like men are being slandered as like they're the devil?
Yeah, that's what he's saying basically, yeah. That's what he's saying.
What? He's have you not seen those male idols out there that are like those superstars?
Mm-hmm.
They get so much praise too.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, like, there are circles in our society where there's these hyper feminists who treat men as if they're all dangerous assault, like rapists, right? That's true. But there's also men. There is that whole red pill community where they just trash women out day and night, And so what he's saying is just it's just like he's limiting his view to this one sector of society and acting like the whole society is like that, but it's not,
It's happened to men.
This is all shenanigans.
Right, after all. And for
yeah, Patreon, bro. Patreon. They're always on Patreon, dude. These wicked people.
This also solves another problem. See, someone has to make decisions, right, about where we're going to go, how we're going to get there, and other people eventually have to submit their will to it. And you got to get on board or you're not going to go anywhere. But in Marxist feminist logic, submission is degrading to people. So that's a problem. Unless you say they aren't people. It's not a human rights violation if they're not human, right? This is what the intersectional feminist oppression scoreboard was made for. If you're a woman, you score high as oppressed and therefore deserving of power and praise. If you're a man, you score high on being an evil oppressor. So you deserve to be subjugated, humiliated, and have your human dignity surgically removed because you...
It's like this video isn't motivating you to do anything or like work on yourself or anything. It doesn't motivate you to actually pursue anything. Or it just makes you want to stay back down, and it just makes you put the blame on other things.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he's doing. He's saying everything, it's everyone else's fault. It's society's fault. It's the pastors. It's the women. It's everyone else's fault that you're a loser, though. He's still keeping that idea that you're a loser. You can't do it. You can't make it. So just give up. He's not giving them any kind of thing. Like, listen, the Bible doesn't talk like this. The Bible's like men should be stewards of like they should be responsible, disciplined. They should be doing things. They should be trying to take care of things, build things, make things, and provide things, you know?
Like be productive and helpful and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's what he should be encouraging men.
This video just wants to make you stay and not do anything. It just makes you want to sit around and blame things on stuff that isn't even responsible.
Yeah. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. This is wicked. There's nothing Christian about this messaging. Nothing Christian at all.
Because you were born a criminal monster. And hey, that's justice, baby. With this, women can be worshipped, get their revenge, and have all that power they've always wanted without feeling guilty about dominating other people in a system that says dominance is evil. Genius. Feminism has now won. They got what they wanted. They checked every box.
Stop being a woman in general, right, ladies? I'm just kidding. It's easy. Shut up, bitch. We have everything. We have everything we've ever wanted.
So let's check in on women's well-being, because that was the goal, right? Women's mental health is now abysmal. It's been plummeting for decades, and now it reaches historical all-time lows. Now, of course, feminists claim this is due to the patriarchy that still oppresses them somehow. Except studies show the happiest women are conservative Christian housewives and mothers, the most oppressed women of all. Getting rid of Christianity and male leadership didn't make women any safer like they promised either. Practicing Christian households consistently score as the safest living arrangements for women by a country mile. Most women are also now stuck in dead-end households consistently score as the safest living arrangements any safer like they promised either. Practicing Christian households consistently score as the safest living arrangements for women by a country mile. Most women are also now stuck in dead-end jobs that they hate, while the successful women who made a career out of it often had to sacrifice having children for that career and now deeply regret it.
Women have fought hard to ensure that our generation had an equal place in the workforce. And to all those women, we just want to say thank you. But also, you. I am so tired.
Sexual liberation has not liberated women from men at all. The only difference is the pool of men that women find attractive enough for them has shrunk.
Guys, we went below 100,000. We went below 6 feet tall. It is 1.5% of men that you guys are describing.
And those men now have no reason to stay loyal to them or treat them well, so they don't. We should also...
So what is that? What is? Oh, you see these things?
Women find attractive enough for them has shrunk.
Guys, we went below 100.
So they go around, they ask all these airheaded women. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say all women are like this, but they bring on these like complete bimbos, right? And they ask them, hey, what are you looking for in a man? Oh, he has to be over 6'4". He has to have $200,000 a year income. And then they're like, oh, well, that's only 1.5% of men. So I guess you're out of luck, ladies, you know? But it's like, are all women like this? You know, are all women trying to be like this? It doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think, Krafty?
Yeah, I don't like these podcasts. They're kind of weird, but he's going to look at 6 girls that have high standards and assume that it's every woman here in the world that's like that. Yeah. But actually, my standards are different. You have to be 20 feet tall, you guys. I increased it.
You have to be a shell for Krafty. You have to be a shell, okay? Otherwise, you can't make the cut.
100,000. We went below 6 feet tall. It is 1.5% of men that you guys are describing.
And those men now have no reason to stay loyal to them or treat them well, so they don't. We should also mention the hashtag #MeToo witch hunts around this time, which make it genuinely dangerous for men to approach women, and also makes women.
Huh?
You have to be 33 feet tall.
33.
Very confused why men don't approach women anymore.
If I look like you, I would just keep my mouth shut.
Feminism 1.
What'd she say?
Don't approach women anymore.
If I look like you, I would just keep my mouth shut.
Wow. But that, like, what? Do all women act like this? Is that what he's saying? Like, I don't know.
Wait, what did she say?
She's not like, if I look like you, I would kill myself.
Oh my goodness.
Which is horrible, obviously. But are all women like this? I don't know. That's the thing. Like, listen, for a Christian man, if you're going to places like this to try to meet women,
that's not a good area.
Yeah. Don't go to bars to try to meet women. That's what the world wants you to do. So you spend your money, you meet like low class women at the best. Or half the time you don't even meet a woman in these places. You know, it's kind of hard, right? Like there's all these men, all these women, they're all looking around. You know, it's not that easy to meet people at these places. And then if you do, okay, well, whatever. Probably not that great of a woman either, because she's all into that kind of lifestyle, you know?
Yeah.
So for Christian men, this is not what you want to be doing. And you're never gonna meet a woman like this trying to fight off the men and act like this, because you're not gonna go there, you know?
Yeah.
Feminism won, but it looks an awful lot like things got worse for women, not better. We're almost there, 2020 and beyond. The virus forces people indoors, which means they now have to date entirely online. Before the lockdowns, most people didn't date online because there was still kind of a stigma around it. When a girl asked you, how come you're on Hinge? What she really meant was, what's wrong with you? But once online dating was the only option, that stigma went away, and online became the primary way to meet people. The problem is, in-person dating is still slightly more fair to average men, while online dating skews heavily in favor of the top 5% or less. Now that basically every woman is at least checking online to see what her options are, this slams the door on the dating chances of most average men. This creates a problem for women, though, since there aren't enough attractive and successful men to go around for all the women who feel they deserve one. Many women
see what he was talking about there, Krafty? This is what they're talking
heavily
about.
in favor of the top 5.
This 5%, the top 5% of men are getting most of the women.
Bro, what?
You know on these dating apps. If you go into, if you probably haven't joined one, maybe, or what, I don't even know, right? But like, if you join one of these things, right, as a woman, you'll get tons of calls or whatever they call it, like the swipes or whatever it is. So you'll get tons and tons and tons. But the average man gets very few, or maybe none. And he's swiping left, or he's swiping, and maybe like 1 in 100 of those people those women will actually get back to him. That's what's going on these things, you know?
If I may account, I'm not getting anything, you guys.
Nah, you'll do all right. Don't listen to those people.
5% or less. Now that basically every woman is at least checking online to see what her options are, this slams the door on the dating chances of most average men. This creates a problem for women, though, since there aren't enough attractive and successful men to go around for all the women who feel they deserve one. Many women solve this problem either by aiming at much older men or sharing men. The strategy they use for this is to advertise themselves to a wide audience and get the attention of these men by sexualizing their appearance. They then give the attractive men easy access to sex, hoping that her sex will lock him down and motivate him to stay with her. This has mixed results.
Biggest red flag in a girl nowadays is if she has a link in her bio.
I am so sorry to break your heart like this. I am so sorry.
You were doing so good.
But yeah.
At the same time, though, another trend pops up. It looks totally bizarre from the outside, but it's actually a brilliant strategy that gets around a lot of these problems. As the economy struggles to recover from the shutdowns, the jobs that feminism sold to women are becoming more of a struggle. So a number of conservative women begin to strike up a deal with men. You guys go do all that hard work for us, like you used to back in the 50s, and we'll go back to being feminine, wearing cute dresses, and keeping the house all cute and tidy for you. And tradwifism.
This is so dumb. This whole culture is utterly sick too. Like this woman. This woman's trying to represent some kind of traditional woman thing. It's utterly sick and gross. But what do you think about this? Have you heard of these people? Trad wives?
No, I've never heard of these people.
Okay, so the idea is the traditional wife, right? So they're saying that these type of women will say that they're looking for a man that will take care of them, and they'll stay home and take care of the house and do what a woman does back in the 50s or whatever. That's what a woman was supposed to do back then. So they're trying to go back to the pre-feminism days and act like this, but it's acting like in this bizarre like fantasy of what the 50s were like, you know? It's just weird and gross.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, like they're dressing up and stuff like that or something.
Yeah. Look at her. She looks like a doll. She's acting like a literal like a blow up doll. You know, that's her life now. She's acting like that's what traditional wives were like. Yeah, that's what the wife is supposed to be.
For your
like.
information, I actually think that dress looks really nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the dress is nice. Yeah, she looks very nice. But I'm just saying, like, it's like she's acting like look at what she does right now.
In the 50s, and we'll go back to being feminine.
Look at this. And she's gonna lean forward to show her cleavage. It's like so utterly gross and sexualized, but she's trying to act like she's a traditional wife, you know?
Wearing cute dresses and keeping the house all cute and tidy for you. And tradwifism is born. Now, this is a fantastic arrangement for women. The trouble is, only a tiny fraction of men are able to afford it. So for most guys, your only options at this point are a woman who despises men or a woman you can't afford. Unless you're willing to risk it for an ex-party girl or single mom, that is. See, there's another pattern of
Hi, Noel. How are you? God bless.
behavior hitting its peak around this time too. A lot of the women who are sleeping around in their 20s find that as they get older, they get less attention from the high-level men they want. But they also can't get attention from the low-level guys they've been rejecting because...
Will YouTube flag that comment?
Which one?
The one that you have up on there. I don't know. I thought there were certain words that you weren't allowed to say on YouTube, or else they'll take the stream down.
Nah, it's all right.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's some words I guess they'll kind of like they'll lower your discoverability and stuff.
Because they've been rejecting them. And those guys typically don't want a woman who slept with anywhere from 30 to 300 men.
We have a saying for you. Only
30 to 300 men.
300?
30 to 300 men. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. Wait.
But they also can't get attention from the low-level guys they've been rejecting because they've been rejecting them. And those guys typically don't want a woman who slept with anywhere from 30 to 300 men.
We have a
30 to 300 men. No, that's not by accident, dude. That is not by accident, bro. He purposely did that. He could have said 50 to 500 men, you know? He could have easily said that. Any other number would have worked, but he said 30 to 300. Absolutely wicked.
We have a saying for you. OnlyFans detected. Opinion rejected.
So these women find a clever workaround. As they start to hit 30, they convert to Christianity and say, I'm washed clean, my past is gone, and you can't hold it against me. Now, some of these women do deserve a second chance. And I mean that. Problem is, many of these women didn't repent. They're doing exactly what it looks like they're doing. Looking for a man to exploit. This sparks a heated debate among Christians. White knights and blue pill tradcons see these women as a man to exploit.
I saw this part too. Like he looks at this woman, right? I'm a proud mom with 12 wonderful kids from 8 different fathers. Okay? 12 kids, 8 fathers. My youngest was just born recently. If we ever meet in person, be prepared to treat us to something fun. The kids love KFC.
What?
Now, look, I don't know, man. I feel like that's like some racial messaging there, but whatever. Maybe I shouldn't even say anything, but that's just wicked, dude. And this guy, working mom of 3 kids, looking for a husband who can respect me and take care of me financially. Anyway, whatever. He's trying to act like all women are like this, or like not all women, but there's this new crop of women like this. And if you're looking for a woman, you're probably gonna end up with one of these or something.
This sparks a heated debate among Christians. White knights and blue pill tradcons see these women as innocent angels who've been reformed and redeemed, even if they don't really vet them to find out for sure. So they push the single guys at these women, saying, "Look,
Boris, dude." Do you see? I can't believe how this guy dominated DVP. I mean, I knew he was gonna win. I knew he was gonna win. I did not think he would just like completely just expose DDP like that. You know, utter exposure. I actually thought he was gonna choke him out in the first round, but anyway.
Look, you're complaining about being single. Here's a woman that needs a man. You're being selfish if you say no. The guys look at that and just go, no. What you're asking for isn't sacrificial love. It's enabling. The fact that men like us constantly come in and take these women's consequences off of their shoulders onto our own is the reason why they keep doing this stuff. Now, speaking of enabling, we really need to talk about the only girls to Christian influencer pipeline because it's getting out of hand. But we'll have to save that for another time because there's another reason these guys are hesitant. See, we talked a lot about how hard it is for men to get a woman these days, but we haven't looked at the kind of woman he's most likely to be rewarded with if he does become everything she wants. So let's paint the picture. Today, most women are mentally unstable. They're depressed, anxious, and most can't regulate their own emotions, so they expect the world to change and adapt to her feelings to keep them regulated for her. Most are physically unhealthy as well. More than half are overweight, undisciplined, and unable to say no to their impulses or any of their cravings, and it's a crime to call them out on it, so it's unlikely they will ever get healthy. Speaking of which, most have been raised with so little accountability that they're incapable of seeing any...
Like men aren't fat? Men don't get fat anymore? Is that what you're saying? I swear, but you know what? Honestly, I swear, like nowadays, in this current moment that we live in right now, I think men take better care of their appearance than women. You know what I mean? It's got to that point. Like there's men they just go to the gym like every day, dude. They're so like self-conscious about like even a little bit of fat and stuff. It's wild. I know a lot of guys like that, like my cousins and stuff. This guy sounds like an incel for real, I know.
any flaws in themselves or admitting that they're wrong. So good luck when you run into conflicts with this woman, which you will. Most refuse to support a man and often simply can't cook, can't clean, can't do anything of value. And even if they can, they'd flat refuse because I'm your wife, not your maid. She won't offer him affection, encouragement, reassurance, appreciation, or any of the things she expects from him.
What is he talking about? What do you think about this, Krafty? He's talking about women.
I know a lot. Not all women act like this dude.
Hey, let me ask you this. He's talking about basically what he's saying is that women just they won't do cooking, they won't do cleaning. They're not gonna participate in that at all, or something like that. I don't know what he's saying, but how do you feel about that? Those type of questions. If you get married, or when you look to get married, what are you gonna deal with? How are you gonna deal with those issues?
Dude, I'm the one that's like cleaning all over the house. Like, look, I have like 2 other sisters. I'm the one that's doing all of the housework around here.
So you don't mind pitching in with your husband if you have to do it. But would you say, like, if you got married, right? Would you expect your husband to pitch in with you too?
It depends. If there's some times where it's like overwhelming, then maybe I could ask for help. But if not, then because I can do most of it on my own without having any issues. But there's other times where I might need help if there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. I think that's what it is, right? Like a marriage should be a partnership.
Yeah.
So neither party should expect the other one to do everything, right?
Yeah. It's like pitching in and helping each other out.
Yeah.
She's entitled. She expects the man to keep her entertained with witty banter all the time like all the other couples on Insta, and maintain a constant adventure of events and trips to fun places. And if you bore her, she will find someone else. She comes preloaded with a bunch of bad spending habits, a massive student loan from a degree she won't use, and a mountain of consumer debt that she expects you to pay off for her. And that debt is collecting interest, so tick tick. She also has no intention of respecting her man. She will be combative, bossy, abrasive, disagreeable, anti-submissive, and he is expected to handle her. She's also getting a ton of
who's he talking about? He's acting like all women are like this. He's just generalizing about women, yeah. It's just retarded. Like, sorry, but it's just like, how can he just try to act like all women are like this? You know,
this is so bonkers. It's not even bonkers. This is just bad.
Yeah, it's like sexism. It's just virulent sexism. That's all you can say it is.
Bad relationship advice from jealous friends and Instagram reels, which tell her to leave you if you won't peel an orange for her, or some arbitrary red flag that somebody thought up of to get some views. Don't forget all the years she spent giving her body away to lock down men she thought were better than you. So now she has a body count and possibly a kid from another man, which statistically increases her chances of leaving you. And as loose as she was with those better men, she's not going to make herself that available to you. Because now that she's got you, sex isn't about acquiring you, it's about controlling you. So most of the time she's gonna be locked down tighter than Fort Knox. And oh, by the way, thanks to her high standards,
he's trying to tell young men that watch his dumb videos that this is just how it is. This is how it's gonna be when you get married. It's just how it is. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Utterly sick, dude. This is sick. Sorry. Is this depressing you, Krafty? I'm sorry.
No, but now it's like videos like this might, I don't know, because I have a feeling that maybe later on there's could be less marriages because videos like this are gonna influence people.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is, like, there is a lot of pressure. It is difficult. It is difficult for young men and even for young women too in this market, in this dating market, in this marriage, this economy and stuff. But these narratives are not helping. And I'm telling you, this is like part of their plan, you know? They're trying to drive a wedge between men and women. And it's always like with the devil, it's always like divide and conquer. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's what this is, man.
This video is so foolish. Why do we have to sit here and watch it? Dude, look, it's 30 minutes in. It's almost an hour. I think we can come with the conclusion that this video is not good.
All right. You want to turn it off? You want to watch something else?
Yeah, but I don't know if does anyone else still want to watch it? Because if they want to, then we can still continue.
Yeah, you guys, how do you guys feel about this video? You want to keep going, or you want to turn it off? I can turn up the speed a little bit. We're at 1.5. We can go to 2.
No, can you turn it all the way to like 10x so it can play through the whole thing?
You wish.
most likely feels like she's settled for you, and she'll likely take it out on you for the rest of your life because she resents you for not being the man she really wanted. But hey, she's pretty, I guess, right? So yeah, guys.
Had enough, huh?
Glory wants to see his sales pitch.
The sales pitch, yeah. Well, you already saw pitches his Patreon. I think that's all it is. I know the guy is enough. All right. We had enough of this, right? I just want to say, gentlemen, or anyone who's watching, but I know I got a lot of young men in my audience. Like, look, God is the one. God doesn't think of you in this way. All right, God loves you, and He made you, and He gives you hope. He doesn't. God is the God of hope. Okay, He doesn't want you to think like this, like you have no hope. He's given you hope through Christ.
Yeah,
and if you just continue to live by that, you'll have hope. But go ahead, sorry, Krafty.
You guys are the children of the Most High. Okay, that's your identity. Okay, you are the sons of God. Okay.
Amen.
Now, marriage is a blessing, but singleness is also a blessing too. So
that's right.
Focus on God, because God's first. Put God first, basically.
That's right, Krafty. Thank you very much. That's an excellent point. I know.
Guys are starting to hesitate.
I know. I have the best co-host, guys. This is God. This has got to work too. Hope through Christ. Amen. Amen.
Okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike and Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you want to support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shills. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike and Pat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.